Just putting up the screens that are not in on me.
It's usually showing the difference between them.
This is just a rule. Each other ones. Which public hearing?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Open meeting, April 8th, 6:30 PM. Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Scott Huber.
Here.
Amanda Vasky.
Here.
Jeff Bendel.
Here.
Shane Light.
Here.
Randy Johnson.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public input, we have Brian Halstead.
I gotta apologize, because the other day I kind of blocked up a lot of the Main Street of West Union, I was trying to load a trailer. My fault, I didn't use the church crowd, so that was my bad, and I apologize. But that brought into a letter coming from you guys about some other stuff. But then that kind of brought up another situation that I guess I'm asking if we could figure out if I could get a loading zone in front of my door, in front of my building, like 20-minute type park. Because it doesn't happen very often, but I get blocked. And one of the situations I got in the letter was I drove up. I walked behind skid row down the sidewalk to pick a piece of equipment up, take it out, because that Saturday, the church was having a funeral. Well, it's kind of hard to walk into a funeral to get a car. So that it's just the evolving of my business is not open yet to the public because I don't have the building ready yet. But it's evolving to needing maybe that situation so we don't have a constant problem of parking. I usually try not to come in. I either come in at like 5 o'clock on Sunday mornings to beat the church crowd, or I wait until everybody's out. Saturdays, I usually wait till afternoon. Shipley only works like 1 day a month. Hairdresser, she's usually gone by noon. The computer store that's next to me, they're closed at noon, so it's usually not ever an issue at that time. But it's became an issue. So that's my main thing I'm asking for. So of that.
Can I ask a clarifying question quick for the minutes? Are you asking for the council to consider a loading zone permit for you during a construction permit, like for your remodel? Is that what you're asking?
No, this would be more for bringing cans in and out. I had, a year ago when I was cleaning out a lot of the building, the parking trailers, there was an issue. You sent me a text. I said, hey, do I need to get a permit? Do I need to get something? At that time, Mary Benson come down, kind of looked at what I was doing, and I'm like, yeah, I was moving a bunch of equipment in and 2 boards out, which that's pretty much over. All I have left to do is some cement work, which would have a truck back in with rocks, put it in this bucket or the walk down skid road, take it to the middle of the building, dump it. Shouldn't take a couple days of that, a couple afternoons. Probably on the weekend, because that's when I worked on it. Cement truck for, 2 hours or whatever it would take to lay out 3 yards of concrete. So I don't, and then yes, to bring that subject up, come hopefully in September, into August, 1st September, I'd like to start tuck pointing in front of my building. So yes, I would like to have park my boom truck there overnight probably wouldn't leave it all week, I would just, when I'm working, like if I work on a Friday night, Saturday,
Sir?
Sunday.
Your 3 minutes is up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would encourage you to finish completing your form so that the city is clear what your request actually is. And I believe, did you share with him the citizen form that I handed you? Did you get a form?
He has-
Yeah, I asked for this form, or asked to get, it, so it was more of an agenda item.
Yes.
And you told me no. You told
That's
me
correct.
ask them this.
That we, before, someone can't just say they want to be on an agenda without sharing what it is that you would like to be on the agenda about.
And
Because it
it's
sounds like
part of-
there's multiple things.
Well, the other thing, when I called, I didn't get the letter. So, I mean, the letter can be handled, I pretty much felt the letter's handled, but I did ask for this. I did ask for this on Monday when I called, to get on to this.
Right, so.
And Ryan said to
On
go
Monday,
this
you
route.
can't get onto an agenda because the agendas have to be posted. Typically, they're posted by Monday.
It was
So-
2 weeks ago. I did.
Okay, so I believe that you weren't placed on the agenda yet because I'm not really sure what it is that you're asking. It sounds like there's multiple things that you're requesting. So I would ask that you complete the form completely in terms of what your request is so that I can get that to the council. And then I think the mayor and the council will determine if you'll be placed on the agenda.
Okay.
Because your parking, I don't know if it's permanent, I don't know if you're requesting temporary while you're doing construction. Are you asking that a large semi be down there? There's a lot of things that I think you need to probably clarify,
Okay,
okay?
so why was that not told to me 2 weeks ago?
Do we have any changes to the consent agenda?
Was he the only one on public input, just to clarify?
That was the only one.
Okay,
If there are no suggested changes to the consent agenda, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second.
Those in favor? Light,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hubert,
Yes.
Menda,
yes,
Maskey,
yes.
Bendel.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for chapter 151 building code?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing number 1 on chapter 155, the building code.
I'll second.
Maskey,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hubert,
Yes.
we have no public input for the building code.
So the city has not received any public input via email or phone regarding ordinance number 151-1, which is an ordinance amending the 2013 Code of Ordinances of the City of Urbana, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to building codes. As you would see, the update to this ordinance is updating to the newer edition of the building code.
Any discussion?
Is there any public?
No public input? I have a motion to close the public hearing for chapter 151.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing number 1 on chapter 155, 1, building code.
I'll second.
All those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to open public hearing on proposed vacation of southeast Washington Avenue right of way at 103 East Main Street?
Motion to open public hearing on proposed vacation of Southeast Washington Avenue right away.
Second. We have one.
You want to take a vote on that?
Thank you.
6:40.
Bindle?
Bindle?
Hmm?
Did you open at 6:40?
Yes. Yes.
Huber?
Yes.
Maskey?
Yes.
Light?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
We have one speaker for the public hearing, Keaton Parker.
Just want to kind of state some stuff for that alleyway. That's the one directly, I guess it's on the backside. There is no one that closed down the gravel currently going in between, basically for center point that meets that alleyway. Correct.
Are you saying to close and vacate
They
it?
close all the alleys around that block.
So, sorry,
So
I can answer that after your 3 minutes.
that's my thinking. But I do use that alleyway quite often. That intersection is pretty busy going to the back of the center point from Urbana, the car wash. So I do use that alleyway quite a bit. I've got a pretty long trailer that comes in and out every once in a while, as well as like boats and visitors, stuff like that. And a lot of them, we choose to go that way just based on the alleyway is quite difficult to, it's not difficult to fill up, but it is not maintained super well. So we kind of rough on trailers and stuff pulling it into that alley as it's a smoother transition going in and not having to block traffic. So that's a big thing for me. Just be able to pull the backside and then not make sharp corners like that and pull right into the side of the garage. So that's been a big thing for me. The alley has been used. I've been here for 2.5 years now, and the alley was always used by previous owners, my neighbor, and then also when Tyler was there, he used that for like timber and stuff like that. So just was kind of curious on why it was getting closed down and whatnot, but I know that me and my neighbor David use it quite often for getting trailers in. Now it's just easier for us to not walk through it. But I don't need to use all 3 minutes for that, but if you want to answer my question, that'd be awesome.
So just to clarify, the public hearing for tonight,
Okay.
and this particular one is to vacate this portion of the alley, which I'm understanding that you may be discussing down here. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so just to clarify, the public hearing is on this one.
I just want to make sure they weren't planning on shutting that down too. That's my only access to my garage and my neighbor's house, so.
Okay, so when we're finished, if somebody would like me to clarify, there is an additional item on the agenda. Do you want me to clarify that in case Mr. Parker would like to stay for an item later on the agenda?
Please clarify.
Okay. So we sent a letter, which, did you receive a letter?
I might need to call you guys up the address. We went to Center Point address for mailing, not post office anymore. So I've updated Benton County.
Oh, okay, so you didn't get the letter that we sent, okay.
Well,
Okay, so I will actually probably have our deputy clerk get you a copy of the letter that was sent to you.
yeah.
So further on the agenda, which I wrote down is actually going to be, agenda item 2026-220, where there will be additional information shared this evening regarding the Wood Street right-of-way and East Jefferson, which I believe is probably that alley that you are currently talking about,
Yep.
correct? And just to clarify, the proposal that's on the agenda for tonight is not to vacate that portion, but it will share information about the city's responsibility in terms of maintenance to that alley.
Okay.
So if you'd like to stay for that, you are more than welcome.
Yes.
And then I'll also have Ryan get a copy of that.
Is that a public hearing today or is that just talking about it right now?
So if there is a resolution, which was why I actually thought you were here, because I thought that you would have received the letter during public input. So I'm going to actually ask the council that when we come to that agenda item for this specific resolution, if Keaton has questions, since there was a misunderstanding, that he would have permission to speak and hear part of the discussion, you would have to ask the council that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So as far as the vacation of whatever. we're
The one that we're currently
East
talking about.
Washington at 103, that's not your concern, right?
It still is, it's just easier for trailers. Do I not have any say for that one? It's not on my property.
Well, you can provide
can-
input,
you
you
can
can
provide
provide on it, of
Yeah.
course. That's the one it's all grass, right?
Yeah, it's all grass, not us to maintain the gravel or any of that stuff. It's just easier to, with no stop sign being there currently, which I know we've talked about that in the past, but just a little safer for us to get the 28-foot trailer in there going the back way versus blocking traffic for, who knows, teenage kid not paying attention to some of that trailer. So I've seen too many stupid things happen on that corner already, so. But yeah, I do have a concern about it still, but obviously I want to make sure I have access to my shop still, so. But, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing on proposed location of Southeast Washington Avenue right of way at 103 East Main Street?
Make a motion to close the public hearing number 2 for the vacation of the right of way at East Main.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do I have a motion to open public hearing on the 2026 Urbana Public Library parking lot HMA improvements project?
I'll motion to open public hearing on the 2026 Urbana Library parking lot HMA improvements.
Second.
Kendall?
Yes.
Huber?
Yes.
Thank you.
Vasky?
Yes.
Light?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Public hearing is now open. We have no speakers signed in. Was there any calls or?
No, there
emails
was
about
no public input via email or phone into the clerk's office regarding the library paving project.
that? Do we have a motion to close the public hearing on 2026 Urbana Public Library parking?
I'll make a motion first. Hearing, and I'll second.
6:48. Sorry, I just need to keep track of that too, if somebody,
All those in favor of closing the hearing?
who seconded it?
Aye.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Do I have a motion to open public hearing on the 30th Avenue HMA overlay project?
I'll make a motion to open public hearing number 4 on the 30th Ave HMA overlay project.
Vasky?
Yes.
Johnson?
Actually, I'm ashamed. My mouth is open, but.
Shane, did you second that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Excuse me.
That's all right.
Shane? Yes. Light, excuse me. Johnson?
Yes.
Huber?
Yes.
Bendel?
Yes.
We have no public input on the sign-in sheet.
There was no public input or citizen request from 30th Avenue overlay via email or phone.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing on the 30th Avenue HMA overlay project?
Motion to close.
I'll second.
All those in favor of closing this hearing?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. Staff reports.
I believe all the staff reports were written reports. I did do 2 requests in for, the Benton County report, and I did not get that in time. So as soon as I get that, I will share it. I'll also put it on for the next agenda then, so it's available to the public as well.
The building inspector is present. Does he have any verbal input?
Everything's in the report.
The city engineer is present. Does he have any verbal input? Moving on to new business.
I have a quick question.
Yes,
All the flags down there on South and Endeavor, is that for the sidewalk?
Yeah.
They,
So we've got a couple of things going on. I don't know if you were down there, but we did get 2 calls today. So the surveyors have been out, but I believe that the flags and the markings are utilities. It looks like, USA Communications maybe, or the city are doing locates, I think.
We requested, but they told us they wouldn't. They don't like to request, to plan and design things. It's just, they don't like to, they locate for construction. So, I mean, it's good that they did that.
I'm pretty sure they are, because I got 2 phone calls today, and I think it was,
it's
Yeah,
for
today
plan,
is for
it's for
sidewalk.
plan design, purposes of planning and designing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So how long will they be there? I mean, are Pete Palmer supposed to let them sit for how many extended time, or what's
I
the?
will check on it tomorrow and make sure we can get a surveyor up here because we're getting into the spring, people don't want to mow and so on and so forth, so.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you asked that question because I did not know they were there.
I think they just started like today maybe and yesterday afternoon, because I did just get 2 calls verifying that it was likely utilities and if it was related to the sidewalk project. And I told them that I was certain that it was likely related to the project and that the engineers were out, had already been surveyed, and then the utilities, I think, were coming out and spraying and flagging the utilities.
So what, I'll check tomorrow on schedule to get up there, to survey back out, to get those locates. And then we'll let Jennifer know so she can coordinate with people to say it's okay with those.
And
Obviously,
just so you know, they did not contact me ahead of time either, so otherwise I would have put it out on social media when Hall and Hall was here. I put it out on social media that you would see them out doing that. So I was unaware, but I did field the 2 calls, so I would definitely put something out after Shane lets me know if that's what
Perfect,
you're doing.
thank you.
new business.
If I may add one thing, Carrie had to leave, but she did want to add that the library received an AED grant and plans to get that in the building later this month.
Thank you.
I think they all just did the CPR and AED training too, I believe.
Will you ask, so will Carrie be responsible for doing the, like they have quarterly checks or?
So we're kind of been coordinating that with Nate Johnson, because
Okay.
we have the ones that the visioning committee had placed at, I think, both Casey's locations. So he has done those quarterly checks. Ryan, did you have any updates on that? So Ryan, I think, was placing an order to get the new batteries and pads and stuff like that. So we'll make sure that that one probably gets on the same rotation.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Do I have a motion to perform the first reading of ordinance 151-1, chapter 155, for amending provisions pertaining to building codes?
So you are on new business A, correct?
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading ordinance 151 or 155-1.
And I'll second.
Bendel,
Yes.
Maskey,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Light. Yes.
I'd make a motion to waive the second and the third reading of the building code 155-1 on ordinance pertaining to building codes.
I'll second. Maskey,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
Light. Yes. Second, third reading has been waived. Do I have a motion to consider chapter vacation and conveyance of a portion of Southeast Washington Avenue, right away located at 103 East Main Street, first reading ordinance?
I will make a motion to approve ordinance 137-1 to vacate the portion of Southeast Wash Ave right away located at 103 East Main Street.
First reading.
First reading. Yeah, thank you.
Second.
Maskey,
Yes.
Hubert,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Light. Yes. Bendel.
Yes.
First reading is passed. I have a motion.
Make a motion to, for the waiver of the second, third reading.
Second. I'll second. Who,
Randy. Or excuse me, Johnson.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Hubert,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Light. Yes. Bendel,
Yes.
Maskey.
Yes.
Second and third readings have been waived. Okay, do I have a motion to consider resolution 2026-235 approving the award of the 2026 Urbana parking lot HMA improvement project.
I'll motion to approve resolution 2026-235.
I'll second.
Bendel,
Yes.
Maskey,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
Motion approved. Do I have a motion to consider resolution 2026-236 approving award of the 30th Avenue HMA overlay project?
I'll make a motion to consider resolution 2026-236.
I'll second.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Light. Yes. Bendel,
Yes.
Paskey,
Yes.
resolution is approved. Do I have a motion to consider the motion of the Project Planning Committee to approve the recommendation for a tax increment financing application for 2020, for 2610 Bing Miller Lane.
So just to clarify that for the council, the project planning committee met and is recommending approval of the tax increment financing for a motion for a term of 7 years at 2610 Big Miller. Rebate percentage at 75% of incremental taxes generated, not to exceed 55,000, and the bond council fees to be deducted from the initial rebate payments refund amounts. And this is simply a motion to get us moving forward with Dorsey and Whitney.
This is approval of the TIF application.
This is a motion to move forward with giving our bond council these recommendations for it. So once that's started, then I'll bring it back to you from Dorsey and Whitney, so that I'll get from the bond council.
I was just curious if we invited the applicant to the meeting or if he was aware of this meeting.
No, I don't believe that he was aware that the project planning committee was meeting and that their recommendation would be taken to council. So once there is a decision if we're moving forward, then yes, I will contact him based on
That's
your
fine.
decision.
I'm just curious.
This is just a motion to move forward. To.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Light,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Baskin,
Yes.
Bendel.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Motion to consider resolution 2026-2220, declaring no municipal utilities and discontinuing city maintenance of the portion of Wood Street right of way east of East Jefferson.
If I may.
Mhm.
Okay, so the city in, kind of working through really my first time of doing a vacation of alleys or right-of-ways. I had requested, this work started probably a little over a year ago, where we were working at that time with Matt Johnson, city engineer, our public works superintendent. And we worked on identifying, so it kind of looks like this, I think I shared it via email. So we worked on identifying within the entire city, no utilities not maintained, and this would be alleyways or right-of-way public streets, no utilities but maintained by the city, utilities and not maintained, and utilities and maintained. So we have gone through and kind of identified all of those alleys within the city and thought that after going through this once, that we would start kind of determining where the city's going to continue to maintain when there's no utilities there and it no longer serves purpose for the city. So from this map, we then started a database so that we could start identifying which ones that we could potentially identify as no longer maintaining from the city. Because there were two residents that shared concerns regarding the portion of Wood Street right of way east of East Jefferson. I went further then to do some more research regarding that, which looks to be the right of way is gravelled into like grass and does go around. So this particular resolution is not to vacate the alley, but that I'm recommending to the council that because this is one of the alleys located that the city has no utilities, but is currently maintained in terms of probably snowplow, I'm recommending that we actually no longer maintain that, and we'll actually be bringing forward Probably at least 3 or 4 more yet here in the next month or so, that the city has no utilities and we cannot really foresee why we would continue to maintain that. So it can continue to be accessed for the 2 property owners, but the city would not maintain that.
So if 2 property owners with a garage access from that,
The 2
From
property owners,
their
yes.
garages use that alley, right? Am I right?
Can I speak on it?
So the,
For me, it's just my shop in the back, which is used every day. And then the next door neighbor, that's actually his access to his house as well. He doesn't have a front access to his house though, so he drives to that alley to park, and then that's how he gets to his home.
so his driveway.
So are we plow it through?
It's a blind alley, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
But we're plowing it?
Yeah, also a quick question, what are considered utilities? There is a manhole cover on that and power line running on it.
There are no.
The manhole is actually on South Washington. And that's for the storm sewer. And the city still has access to it. That's why they're not vacating either the alley north of 8 East Washington or vacating the portion that is under consideration at this time.
Correct. So not a vacation, we're simply saying that the city will no longer maintain that in terms of, there's no public use for the city to do that. Or use city resources.
It's gravelled.
No, the front portion of it is gravel,
And
yes.
I spent my own money in gravel to my garage, and put gravel in my garage, spent $1,000 doing that. Did any of you guys have sports cars or low cars in here? Anyone? Like have a sports car that's low or any of that stuff, lower than average?
I've had them. yeah.
Okay, so you understand it's difficult getting in and out of like a steep angle driveway. So I personally have one that I do drive in the summertime. Getting up that, not maintained, there's mud, I don't like getting mud on my car, that's my fun car. As well as my boats and all the other stuff that comes out behind there. And then also getting that lip, it doesn't look like there's been gravel there for a long time. So one thing I was gonna ask the city is just if we could put gravel towards the lip, because it's very difficult getting out without hitting my bumper, my intercooler on my car, having boat grass fall out and take it out of the driveway. So in consideration of that, I think it is our only access to our places, our residents, and it gets torn up very easily with rain with the lack of gravel that's currently there.
One thing I did discuss with Trent was the maintenance of the right-of-way of East Jefferson. If that concrete gets eroded, it'll get undercut, and then we have a maintenance problem there. So that's why they are making sure that that lip doesn't get carved out, if you will, at the edge of the concrete, because we can't let the right of way on southeast Jefferson go downhill. That has to be maintained.
It's pretty carved out right now, just tire tracks that we go in and out of quite a bit, so.
So they'll keep an eye on anything that gets eroded there so that it doesn't affect the concrete roadway.
What was the reason we decided not to vacate it? I don't remember if that was.
Well, I don't think we would want to vacate it because we would then still need our utility easement if necessary. So we figure, I believe it's called a class B or a level B, not maintained is what we would call the road. I understand, obviously, in our research, we understand that it's being used as kind of a private driveway for two residents, but city resources are not necessarily responsible for maintaining personal driveways. And again, this was simply brought up and identifying this now and just saying that the city doesn't need to maintain that at the same time that we're doing this with the actual vacation, I feel is appropriate. And which then furthered our database to move forward and doing a couple more of these, basically no utilities and discontinuing city maintenance on the ones that we'll identify here, which I believe the color is yellow that I should give you in the database.
There's two other,
So if there's no utilities and we're currently maintaining it, which are yellow on the map, those are the ones that we are currently looking at potentially moving to a level B. And it's my understanding this hasn't really been done in the city, so the city just continues to do it because they've always done it. And I don't believe that that's the best use of city resources.
yeah, I could not find any evidence to, why we started plowing it, other than, a Mr. Even was a council member way, way back, and perhaps someone was kind enough to start plowing it for him. And the prior, both of the prior public works superintendents, directors are now deceased, so we only have evidence going back approximately 23 years as knowledge, and it was passed to him that way.
Is the manhole, is that in the alleyway?
The manhole is actually back on southeast Washington's right of way. From what I could dig up, it was that storm sewer was placed in anticipation of lots being filled and Washington being paved back in there. There is a lot on the east side of east side of East Washington.
I believe this is
one here.
the manhole road, I believe that you're
Yeah,
discussing.
it's in East Washington.
Yes, so it's here, which is also part of this alley, which
Yeah.
we are not vacating. So we're
Right.
simply proposing that there is no longer maintenance of
Correct.
this particular area
So
here.
it's something that we don't actually need access to.
We do not need access at this time. If we actually did need to get back there, the right of ways that we have allow us access.
No longer
We are not planning on vacating the east portion of East Wood Street because there's a lot back there that could be built on. And if that comes to pass, then we would want to put a road through and start vacating it.
Yes, and we did not vacate that, so this portion was the vacation.
That's right.
Just
That's why whenever it was,
basis.
yeah, but something that we need access to,
Should
then I
have
think
copies.
Yeah.
should maintain
There is no.
We have easements
need for-
on both,
on both ends.
actually, prior to that.
Okay.
She and Jennifer showed that.
So here's the calculator that we're referencing, this would be his garage. This is the portion that we just vacated in the 3 acres of manhole, which is part of this area.
Okay, so you can get into them too.
So we are.
And there's a pretty big grove of trees growing.
Okay. Okay.
You haven't seen it either.
So if we did elect to punch it through to East Washington, we'd have to take out that grove of trees.
Are there any, like, you have a alley behind your house, correct? That's
No, because it's vacated
it's vacated.
because it has a sidewalk and it's curved at one end.
So again, like you'll see here, the ones that are identified that are, there's two shades of yellow, a certain shade of yellow. Those will be the ones that we'll be looking at here in the next month or two that we'll be bringing forward to do the same process. This one, just because we had specifically done the research for this one, we were going to go ahead and do that at this meeting. But this would be the information which is identified already, the other alleyways or right-of-ways within the city that we are looking to.
Just as a side note, there was vacation of part of the east end of Wood Street because the houses were sitting on, literally on the edge of the right of way. And so they vacated approximately 7 feet to give the house room. So that's on some pretty old maps. So the actual drawing there doesn't reflect the little jog that's on either side of Wood.
That's correct. We did look at that map and I apologize. This was the one that we just got off the beacon and I tried to highlight it for the thing and then I left it right here and forgot to make copies, so I do apologize about that. But this one would be just from the beacon. It's not from the map that you're talking about, which does show the houses, which basically kind of didn't have any room to the right of way at all. So the city gave them a little more room there, but it's.
Do we need to, I know that we had 3 minutes for public input, but that was probably a lot for the resident to digest. Do we need to open it up for questions to them? Since they just got the letter tonight, we talked about it tonight.
Have a motion to have public input for it?
I concur.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Okay, motion for public input. Baskey, Johnson. Baskey,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Hubert,
Yes.
Bindle,
Yes.
Light?
Yeah.
We have a motion and approve to have a public hearing.
Public input.
Public input.
Public input, excuse me.
Do we go there, sit here? I'll sit here. Yeah, so that alleyway with it now being the only access now to my garage, if the other one being vacated. Say that the curb is a big issue, coming in now with the not having maintenance there. Also, is any of you guys lived in a house where you have garage on both sides, alleyway shoots in the middle of that, and you guys are running a place like that? So I would say this would be a no different situation as someone having house in the front, garage in the back, alleyway that gets to their garage, and the cities do come out eventually. You understand? So that's, I would say this is not really any different situation in that matter. With, you're still plowing those, whether it's at the end or whatever, no big deal to me. But you're still maintaining those and once in a while filling potholes when they need it, and keep it from eroding and all that stuff. So I would say this is There are two, I would say it's like a single residence. I don't know if there's any place in this city that has a shared driveway, which I would not consider like a shared driveway coming off of the main drag. That would be my biggest input is it's not the country. There's no shared driveway where we'll split gravel, they'll throw it in every 2-3 years, whatever. And the maintenance required on that road, I would say is a once in 5 year cost, less than $500 to lay some fresh gravel down and things like that. It's, the time you guys take to plow that is about, I don't know, 7 minutes. You can calculate the fuel for the wintertime for maintenance, if how much it truly costs. Every time they show up there, usually it's just one time. So I would say if you can keep that in consideration, that would be awesome, how much it truly costs. It gets pretty dirty over there in the wintertime, so that would require me to either break my back and do some tire implements or buy a bigger tractor or lawnmower to get that snow out of the way. So I would greatly appreciate if you please maintain that still. I know it's at the end, I'm not asking for any special treatment, just normal road maintenance in the city, that's all I'm asking for, so.
Have we put any gravel on that and how recently?
Yes, so we will put gravel there at the opening of the alley or right of way. And we will continue to watch, which is I believe what Mayor Ireland was saying, that the lit portion, we will continue to watch that because we do that for all the cities, whether it's maintained, not maintained. If we notice that there's some kind of maintenance that needs to be done at the lip of an alley, we would take care of that. And just to be clear, I'm sorry, but you mentioned about getting into your driveway, correct?
That would be, or to get back on the garage, because then we just vacate.
Okay, and just to be clear though, you do have a driveway where you would park a car, you're talking about access to the structural building on the back side of your lot, is that correct?
Yeah, I keep 2 vehicles in that garage all the time. And I know it's like the Chris and stuff, when you get, even with my truck, which is a F-250 4-wheel drive, it's still have a hard time getting around that corner if it's not plowed, so.
Is it paved? You have your driveway paved off of that?
In the backside?
Yeah.
No, I really just laid down gravel and then I think I asked the city when I first moved in if they could extend that gravel down to the trees, that's where they plow through the trees. And nothing ever happened with that, so I ended up bringing gravel down from in front of my garage and all the way up connecting to the alleyway, so that way it gets very muddy there with that storm drain being there with heavy rain, it gets very muddy around that corner. And then you lost standing water in that area, so that's why the gravel is important to keep it there.
And
I can send
he
you
did request gravel to gravel that portion. I believe we did not do that.
Yeah, and I'm not
And
asking.
we
if
did
you-
not because we have to make sure when we spend the city resources that it's something that is used, that we would do that because the city needs access to get to that, or the city would need that maintained, or would serve the purpose of the gravel. So there was not gravel placed all the way down the alley, the right of way.
And I think it's part of the reason the house was vacated for a long time, and I purchased it back in 23. So I understand I'm not taking priority to bring gravel down to that place. So, and it looked like there had been something in the past maybe, and it kind of eroded away at that point, but, yeah, I spent all that money to do that and bring it around just to keep vehicles somewhat clean and not have that mud spray over the main roads all the time that pull out, so.
I guess I have a question. You don't wanna vacate it, but if he's putting money into it to keep it nice, and then you get a lot behind there and wants to build a house, and then you go over that street, are you gonna pay him back for all the rock and stuff he put in because you had no maintenance?
From a road maintenance standpoint, it would actually have to be constructed as a road.
And if they build a house back there, wouldn't it be a road?
Well, like I said, if
There's a lot back there you talk like you might build a house on.
there is a lot back there, and if they built the house, then that would have to be taken into consideration about the condition,
The
whether
lot,
it's
the
a
other lot
class
does
B.
have access. The lot has access, that is being referenced, that lot does have
So-
access.
From a purely pragmatic standpoint, anything that a homeowner does on a right-of-way that's adjacent to their property is typically done for their own pleasure. Granted, some people have built sheds on the right-of-way, but without somebody having it removed, then, so I would not make any permanent improvements on right-of-way that I was maintaining.
But the man bought a house that had an alley there and supposedly maintained by the city. And now you say, no, we're not gonna do that anymore. That doesn't seem right to me.
The point was that I was asked about it, and then we asked the engineer whether there was any reason for utilities that we had. We have no utilities that we need to access there. I asked the Public Works Director what we did to maintain that, and he said that we maintained the segment that is also part of the right-of-way on East Jefferson, so that we don't have a problem there on East Jefferson, and they plow it. And I asked, well, why do they plow it? And he said, I don't know. Why did we start plowing it? He didn't know. And so, why do we keep plowing it?
Well, I'm of the opinion, and I think we could probably wrap this up, that we could just maintain, we could continue to do what we're doing now. It's not hurting anybody or anything, to my knowledge. I don't know if there's a concern about spending money on gravel every so often. I don't know how much, like I said, it could be a ton of money over the course of a few years. The reason we probably do it is
Ton
because,
of money over multiple lots. So yes, we're talking about the alleyway for this particular one, but we're actually doing this process for more than one that's currently being maintained that should probably no longer be maintained. So I understand you're saying this cost.
should it be according
minimal,
to who?
according to the research that the city's done.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I think you're asking us to make a decision on it. We have two households that use that pretty regularly, maybe
As a
daily.
personal driveway,
It's city-owned right away,
correct.
right?
Only being
I-
served for the purpose
I agree, I
of
agree
two
with what you're
driveways.
saying. I mean, these homeowners have been using it for years. They've gotten used to it being maintained. It's only access to this man's shop. His neighbor doesn't have a front driveway. And now you're gonna take that maintenance away. I don't think we should take it away.
The other ones that you're referencing, are they the exact same scenario where there's access to their property, potentially the only access to their property? I mean, in this scenario, I have to agree, I don't know what the other scenarios are, if it's the same type of thing, but I think it's almost, we need to look at it by a case-by-case basis,
Yeah, we're only dealing with this specific one right now, correct?
right? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to clarify then. The city council, before we leave tonight, needs to also then possibly identify what you're considering as maintenance that you would like to have maintained on this, because right now, the city sees no purpose for us to gravel or plow all of that, which is what I showed you. other than just the gravel that would go on the lip of that. So I think if we're not going to do that, then the city's going to also probably, the council will need to identify then what maintenance it is that you are wanting to maintain there. Because I'm saying the reason why it was brought in a resolution, because putting gravel down for this area or continuing to plow that, if they wish to do that, I think that's their business to use it that way, but I don't believe it's the city's responsibility to do that, to put gravel down all the way just because he uses it as a shed.
Do we plow and put gravel on all the alleys?
We have
Are we closing the public input? Because I'm confused also by that I thought that we were giving Keaton Parker input because he is the resident there, not that we were opening up for everyone to discuss that. I think if we're going to
He
allow
said
that, we hear
everybody.
Keaton Parker, but it's not public input, I don't believe, for everyone else.
The
Yeah, it's
motion
not
was
really-
for everybody.
It's not really a Q and A, I don't think at this point. We've got the input. If you want to answer the question, go ahead, but I would say we could close the public. Close the public.
Do I have a motion to close public input?
I'll make a motion to close public input.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
So we've currently just been maintaining it at the street. Is that, we're only applying gravel at the lip where the street meets the gravel. We haven't been adding gravel to anything beyond that. Is that true?
No, I believe that if the last time that was requested would have been last year probably when Keaton Parker moved in. I think he requested that we gravel further down the right of way, and we did not.
The,
But yes, the street, that continues. The gravel will still be placed at the street, just like it would at the other alleyways.
I think, a lot of, like what Amber said, I think this is gonna be a case-by-case situation. Obviously, we have two residents on this one, maybe we have one on another one, three on another one, on that, I didn't really get, and I apologize, but I didn't really get into the details of the map, so maybe my suggestion is maybe we table it. Do we have any more discussion about it? Being able to look back, find out total picture. It's just my discussion from there.
Right. Did you motion that?
No, I have not, so I'm just making discussion. But that's my opinion, I think there's definitely gonna be a case-by-case situation on these. That would be my input.
do we have a motion to table the resolution 2026 through 22 at future time? Next meeting? Or indefinite?
If we table it, you're thinking, get a better understanding of the other, other rights of way.
Yes.
Is that, what do you think about that, Jennifer? Is that something we could?
I'm just, just
My
saying.
personal thought is if we're going to deal with this on a case-by-case basis, then we are at case number 1, so then like case number 2 would be presented. So just from my standpoint in the clerk's office, if we're tabling it, I just need to know the direction that I need to go. Are we tabling it because we don't have enough information? Are we tabling it because we don't know what level of maintenance we're going to maintain? Are we tabling it because you want to know exactly the amount that the city's spending to currently maintain that?
I would say, for one, we need to understand what we want to maintain, how we want to do it, because it's going to be case by case. Is it just plowing? Is it repaving, is it,
How much is
you know,
it?
seal coating, is it, you know, what is it? You know, how many are there? I think there's multiple things we gotta figure out. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that, and to take it one step further, I think the other piece, Jennifer, that you just mentioned, and
The amount,
like the other cases, like I understand this is case number one, but I don't wanna set a precedence with case number one and find out case number 2, 3, 4
correct.
are all the same, and now we're starting to add up, just like you were saying. So, I guess I'll motion to table till the next meeting, and the council needs to find out the information around the other cases compared to this case, and get additional information on what the cost is to maintain and what that maintenance would look like.
Second motion.
Basky,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
table resolution 2026-220 is tabled until the next council meeting. Consider resolution 2026-230 approving job description of the seasonal part-time mowing employee. Do we have a motion to consider that?
I will make a motion to approve the job description for seasonal part-time mowing 2026-230.
I'll second.
Basky,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
motion to consider resolution 2026-227 approving the hiring of a seasonal part-time mowing employee.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 2026-227, approving the hiring of a seasonal part-time mowing employee.
I'll second.
Basky,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
I motion to open a discussion on the building department updated permits and handouts and consider resolution for approval.
Actually, there's no resolution tonight for approval. My suggestion is that we let Doug kind of share his proposal of the permits and handouts that he's been working on for several months. And that we I created a binder for each of the council members with the updated forms in here. So my proposal would be that Doug would be able to share the information that we have in here tonight, and that you guys have the 2 weeks with the binder to review it and make any updates that you could potentially send to the clerk's office that you would have recommendations for. So my proposal would be then that we would bring a resolution to the April 20th meeting. And with that, if you're okay with me kind of turning it over to Doug,
Wherever you have the floor.
building inspector.
So you guys all got the memo from the building department, have you had a chance to read through that at all?
Actually, can I pause Doug just for one second?
Sorry.
I think you started, do you have a motion to open the discussion?
I have not received.
I'll make a motion to open discussion.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Huber,
Yes.
Basky,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Thank you, sorry about that.
That's fine. All right, So the memo is basically, for at least 3 to 4 months, we've been going through the old current paperwork that's available for everybody to actually apply for permits.
Which is minimal.
Yeah.
To say the
So
least.
the information that I get is there's certain aspects of it, I don't even know what I'm inspecting until I get there. So this is kind of revamping the systems, building permit procedures dated 2013, zoning paper online, they're dated at 2009, city ordinances were 2013, P&Z docs are 1997. So obviously, things need to be brought up current. And as you flip through the proposed new documents, forms, valuations, I mean, you look at the line, there's a lot of them that will assist with the documentation that will help me better inspect what's going on in the city. And handouts that will help the community understand the process and know what they need to provide for the inspection. So that's kind of where we're headed with this. We have spent the last 3 to 4 months really trying to hammer this in. There's some other forms that I'd like to present, but for now, this is what we've got. And I'd like to move forward with that. The second page, we put together a fee structure. This isn't something that we're trying to
That
do.
one might be at the back of your binder that looks similar to this, which would be replacing the current fee structure of the old permit. And we've kind of tried to capture why we're doing that. So just a little bit with this one, so I put this together based on the information that Doug's been sharing with me and based on the older version of the permit structure that we have. So this would be, I think it's in the back, is it in the back? Okay. What this is intended to be is not just a new fee structure, but also kind of almost like a flow chart. So I think the biggest thing that Doug kept bringing to the city was, I just don't have enough information. You know, they aren't giving me enough information of even what their project is. Sometimes, you know, they're building a shed that later looks like a house, and all he had was a hand sketch document. So by updating the residential permit application through this process, one of the other things that we were really cognizant of was that this wasn't necessarily increasing our fee structure so much or to increase the price of permits, but be able to give more background and updated information that follows the code. So obviously tonight, approving and updating our building code to 2024, right? But moving some of these things into based on square footage, some is when we hand someone a residential permit, they also then get something that's got submittal information on it. So it goes through a lot of information that a new homeowner or new construction would need to have. We also then worked with the Public Works Department with Doug and Public Works to look at the residential water service and create an information packet and update that. Being able to provide a residential smoke and carbon monoxide alarm handout. There were just several things in there. The state permit is handled through electrical, but we realized that there were sometimes certain things that were coming in because Doug has been here almost a year now, right? Almost a full year, a little over a year. So although he may not be doing the plumbing, he still needs to have them fill out a permit. We still need to know the extent of the work that's going to happen. So like Doug had said, the ones that we got out right away that we mainly focused on were ones that could start his season, which this is going to be peak season for him with building permits, deck permits, fences, garage shed, which we've pretty much gotten all of those within the last week, I think, actually. And some of this, as you know, Doug does work full-time at Hiawatha, so that's been an incredible resource for him and for us because they are more up to speed on things, I think, than we are. But it really gave us kind of a framework for information. And I really believe after going through this process the last 3 to 4 months, it's really, the process to make it go smoother, but most importantly, it's getting the building inspector the amount of information that he needs. And unfortunately, we have had, things that come in that maybe are inspected and not approved. And that possibly wouldn't have happened if the resident or the contractor maybe was provided a little bit more information. So that's kind of the purpose of this, would you say?
Yeah.
There are a couple things in here. I did include a demo permit in here. It's not necessarily on the list because that kind of came in last minute. The city has no demo permit whatsoever. So again, the purpose of this is really to just provide you all with an opportunity to go more in depth and detail to look at these from the standpoint of, in my eyes, our professional has gone through and then he has given it to me and I tried to edit it. We had our deputy clerk look to edit it. We've had the public works department edit the areas that we needed to. So I feel like these are to a point where we're at a review for the council to do that. And then I think you wanted to explain something that you had on page 2 of your memo before.
Yep, just to give an example of the fee structure of prior, it was all broke down in dollar amounts based on if we're doing a garage, it's this much money, if it's over 3,000 square foot, you add this much money. So the current fee structure, we based a 1,638 square foot house. The permit application was $425 for building, and then new construction fee was $200. The new water and sewer permits are now at $300 each. So for that particular house in the example is $1,225 for that permit. So the new structure is based on.
Which that's my house. I know you probably can't build it for that amount, which wasn't really the purpose of the exercise where you might be looking at the square footage to be like, who's building a house at 204,000 in that square footage, but
Right.
for number purposes, we were just trying to demonstrate
Yeah.
the two.
It's definitely not to create a big revenue for the city. That was not the intent at all. It was just to streamline it. It's all based on the ICC current evaluations of 2026. Goes right along with our 2026 codes and forms that we just voted on. So with the new ICC, you got evaluation of the first 100,000 in the table, you'll see the fee table. It breaks it down, that cost is $250. And then every additional $1,000 above 100 is $4 per 1,000. Brings that to $416. Then you got your water, sewer, $300 each. Brings your permit for the same house at $1,266. So we're talking about peanuts. And it just streamlines everything. It gets rid of all the rest and puts it on 2 pieces of paper.
It also gives a consistent process as we've had to go back now through a couple building permits. There are certain things that maybe would have been approved, that maybe should not have been approved, or were approved at an incorrect price for a permit. This kind of takes all that subjectivity, I believe, out of it and provides a very detail there when a permit comes in. It also then allows the building inspector to work from his residential permit fee worksheet for residential. That would be for office purposes. He also has one now for commercial. That would then be turned in with the permit so that we have something physical that's getting turned in and shows exactly how the permit's been calculated, which was not something that we previously had.
So one question on this example. So if it's most new builds are in the 350-ish range, right? Generally, so that if we did this math, you're talking significantly more than this, right?
It's all based on valuation. Correct.
So I think that just for an example, like today's market home build is probably closer to.
Right.
2,000 if you're talking. Just to give you some reference, I feel. Just so it's clear that it's.
Right,
Before.
Right.
before,
It was
We're
very
just
clear,
using that
like-
number as a.
right,
as
like
a source.
my current, the reason why we use mine for the 200 is because you're right, like now, the valuation of my property, what it's valued at is not the same that the valuation of what the contractor would have built it at. So,
So that's what it's based on, is actual contracted valuation of what,
yes, so
He's
it's not the
charging
property
you.
valuation.
not necessarily what you're buying it for. So
correct.
it's cost of, say they're building a deck, materials, labor. That's the valuation he's gonna give me. I go to the table, I base the fee accordingly.
Yes.
The big thing is, you'll probably see the erosion control one, everybody knows SWIP that builds, they all are supposed to follow the guidelines. Silt socks, protecting the sediment runoff. That one's huge for me, so, keeping the complaints to a minimum, people dragging mud out of the street, running down the storm sewer, then Trent's chewing on me because now the city's got to clean that out. So,
Which we didn't currently have that in.
didn't have that information, if you guys, you'll notice the form in there, it spells out exactly what the SWIP calls out for, and they all know that they're supposed to follow it. This hasn't been enforced.
That is why I emailed you last year about that. You, Ryan. We had
Oh, I'm
communication.
measuring.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep,
because I work construction, so.
yep,
Oh,
everybody knows GP2s, everybody's got it, they know it, so. Yeah. So, seriously, email, whatever, if you guys have any questions on anything, more than happy to.
I think to make that more simple too, what I might actually do is, if it's okay with the council, I think I'll do a VCC in the council for everyone to do a reply all, that as you look at those things, if you find things that you have an edit or a question about, we'll just keep the one thread going. I'll have Doug on that too, so that we can kind of do a list. That way, he's only in here after 4 o'clock. I can have things prepared for him or things that he'll be able to look at and review and hopefully get questions back out to you guys before the 20th. So, that's where I was just kind of like trying to think about, is it best to do it in a work session? But I feel like giving these to you and just giving you time to actually digest it rather than going through every permit in a public meeting, at least during the 2 weeks, it gives you a little bit of time then to come back so that we can do that if that works.
Do we capture, how do we capture data electronically so we can, the forms come in probably handwritten most times, right? Do we enter this into a system of sorts to?
That's something we need to evolve into. It's gonna require you guys to put some money forward to get a system that's actually.
Because that's where most of our permits are done, it's all online.
And probably want everything's on there.
Cedar Rapids, Marriott.
They walk in, fill something out the counter, I visibly take that paper and I enter it into the system, all based on addresses. So, and every jurisdiction around here is on the 2026 codes. It's just something Urbana needs to get brought up to speed on.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
You bet.
Nobody has any other questions, I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second. I'll just raise my hand, because I know we sound a lot like.
7:54.
You got something, Mayor?
Well, we had a motion and a second to bring this forward on the April 20th. And we didn't get to the vote.
We didn't have a resolution, what do we?
There was no resolution.
No, it's a discussion and I thought a motion to bring it on the 20th.
Oh.
No, I didn't make the motion, I'm sorry, that's probably my fault. I said I would bring a resolution on the 20th. So I guess if we have the motion to bring it on the 20th?
I don't know that we need
I don't
that.
think so.
Okay, well then cancel the motion second that I have on. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah, but I'll just be like, I got a white flag over there. I know we both know it now.
So you're probably right.
So water usually